Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, so welcome to this challenge, creative challenge. So one of the, I think two of these categories are covered with this 3D. Okay, so I think all of you all of you are from some higher semesters, like from semester 3 and 4. Uh, Even few of you are having some certificate course in 3D. So please be sure or be please be open to ask me anything about the modeling or shading or rendering. Okay, obviously there is a time constraint, so meanwhile, uh, while I'm sharing or showing you the demonstration, uh, you can ask me in between. Okay, Amit is over here, so he can help us out for the doubt clearing. Okay,
Sure, sure.
so yeah, thank you, Amit.
Hmm.
So basically, you as of you know, the two categories. The first is future transportation. Here we are having uh, the transportation reference shared with you already, and even for the 3D asset challenge as well. So there is one helmet, a sci-fi helmet, uh, which you already got. Okay, so uh, on the problem statement or the challenge description, it already mentioned. But the first, I'm going to cover up with this future transportation. Okay, so for the future transportation, you will get to see this particular model. Okay, so any one of you, like every one of you, can think what is the difference between these two challenges, right? So it looks like in the outer surface, it will look like a same, like assets. But if you goes or deep
Yeah,
down
Sandesh,
inside, yeah,
let me clear one thing over here,
yeah,
that the both categories, what Sandesh is covering today, has the reference. Means
yeah,
this is what you have to create. Means here the research part and the ideation part is not required. We have
right,
given you that what you have to create. So this is a futuristic mode of transportation, can be a flying machine. So all of you have to create or replicate the same model as an output, and you need to submit, right? So
right,
this you just keep in mind. The same thing is going to happen with the 3D asset model also, right? So this is the model which you have to replicate as it is, right? Means the lighting, means the objects associated with this particular model, and need to be look like similar, okay, or a same, you can say. So you have to replicate these things. We have given the reference to you. You do not need to think anything else, that what I need to create. You have to create these two models only. Okay, yeah, you can
right.
continue.
Yeah, so don't confuse with these two categories. These two are separate, purely separate. So sci-fi gadget, if you can see on the screen right now, so that is the helmet. It comes under 3D asset challenge. Okay, and the previous one, this one is from the category of design visualization.
Yes, if one is participating in the design visualization challenge, so they need to create this model. And if someone is participating into that 3D asset modeling, then they have to create that helmet.
Perfect.
Okay, great.
So on the portal, also you will get this particular link. So for the presentation, I deliberately add over here. So you can click on that particular link. It will open up. It will open up that particular folder. Okay. Uh, so just go through it for the both categories. So here also the front view, side view is also provided as compared to this one. So here we provided you uh, the blueprint. Okay, so the top view, front view, side view. Okay, and the final render outcome is also here. Okay, you can refer this bottom line, but these sketches are for the concept generation, but finally you have to make this one only, this the render one, the 3D render which appears on the screen right now, that is okay. So here also you can see all these details. uh, you can see these three triangles over here, these circles. So maybe you can zoom in, zoom out. Maybe you can find it difficult on the screen now, but you can use the original reference images which are available on the portal and that particular link. Okay, you can zoom in, zoom out and check the details.
Yeah, this has been provided in the drive, right?
Yes, yes, on the drive.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's general habit, like whenever we got something to model, okay, though it's a assignment, though it's a client project, right? So we directly jump to start modeling, right? We can take reference, put it at the background, and we are going to start the model, all right? But don't do this. My request is just first observe what are those references, what are the aesthetics designed by the concept artist who developed that particular thing. Okay, just check the lighting. Okay, because of that lighting the surface is uh, prominently seen, like where are the ups, downs. Okay, even the textures, what kind of material is used, the overall shape. Okay, so basic design elements are something like it starts with the shape, right? Line, the shape, the form. Okay, and then lastly the material, right? So obviously we are going to follow this particular process only. Okay, uh, then you have to think specifically in the category of design visualization, right? So that particular category is having very advancement, right? Something like how that particular vehicle, okay, or the drone kind of transportation vehicle is made up of, right? Where is the handle, where are the seat belts, what will be their hydraulic system. Okay, on which basis that particular vehicle is running. Okay, though it's on petrol, diesel, or it's a EV. Okay, on electric, what exactly, or on the batteries, what exactly that particular vehicle is made up of. So just have thought inside your mind. Okay, and then check the references. Okay, then think in the real world production, so how that particular vehicle or product or assets is made up of. Is it a single surface? So on the production, maybe could be a mold. Okay, and the entire front part is molded, there are no cuts, fittings, uh, so like that only, or it's made up of different parts. So I will show you. So something like this. So suppose if this car is made up of, I hope everyone can see the screen. Can you see, Amit?
Yes, yes, visible.
Yeah. So this car is made up of different parts. Okay, so this door is also a different, because it is going to open, right? So something like this. Okay, if you go inside, so these are the glasses. Okay, I can hide this. Okay, in production also, in real world production, as well as if you are making such 3D assets for any movie or any kind of simulation from the engineering point of view as well. So it's pretty much necessary to separate it out, right? So think in that way. Okay. So if you can see, there is not a single mesh, although I just attached it, but if you separate it, yeah, so see this. So this upper part is made up of different geometry. Okay, even you can go inside all these things. Take an example of keyboard. So keyboard keys are separate, right? And the body is separate. Even if you can open up the keyboard, uh, it will comes with the two parts, right? Upper part and lower part. Then again inside there will be a chip, a soft material, a rubber kind of material. So all are separated, right? So maybe you can think in that way only. Okay, so it will be ease down your job of modeling, because it's very hard to generate a 3D form in one single mesh. And it's basically a simple rule, a very thumb rule of the modeling, that if you separate it out, you can easily able to have UV unwrapping on that particular object as well. So suppose if I click on UV editor, so you can see this is pretty separate UVs. If I can see this, so you can arrange the UVs accordingly, right? So what if this car is made up of in a single mesh? Okay, mesh, I just combine it, and if you can see, all these UVs are overlapped. Okay, so my point over here is you can attach it, not an issue, but while modeling you can separate, because if you can see this on the UV part, if the model is not extruded from one object, then it will be easy to separate it out these UVs, right? So my point over here is, suppose if this object, if I want to add one rubber stripe over here, okay, so suppose I want to create a separate part of it, like a black rubber, like the protected maybe plastic sheet you can consider. So if I extrude it from this surface, something like this, okay, though this material is separate, and in from the real world this object is kind of plastic, very hard plastic. I'm saying this much area, I just add a new material to it. Those are having questions how I operated this, then we can cover it later. I just want to clear my point over here, what I want to say. So after that, maybe you can ask. Yeah, so something like this. So this red part is maybe a hard plastic, and the blue part is pure metal. Okay. So, and if you want to texture it, so if you are add some shaders onto it, then it's completely fine. You can extrude it from this particular geometry or mesh, okay, or polygons, right? But if you are going to add some texture, the external texture, I think all of you know the difference between texture and shader. You can ask in the chat box. I will clear it out. Okay, while showing you UV unwrapping and shading. Okay, so suppose if you are having some image onto this particular area region, okay, on the black, on the blue and red. Okay, so then it will be little bit difficult. Okay, so suppose if I click on this, UVs. From here, you can click on UV to shell. Yeah. So if I zoom in, now you can see there is a overlap. Okay. So I'm just selecting this edge loops. So now, can you see this highlight point over here, which I selected? So currently it is showing us it's completely fine. But suppose if I click on this, see this, there is a overlap. Okay, so it will harm your texture. Okay, but or maybe the texture cannot be placed properly onto this particular object. Okay. I hope you can. Okay. Anyways, I will cover up UV's part as well. So yeah, I just want to cover up this particular thing. Like think like real world production. I hope everyone is clear with this particular point. Because if you see this particular image, yeah. So this particular image, if you observe it, so now you can clearly see this particular part over here where this entire craft is based on. So this is the material that this is different. Maybe this will be very strong other than this particular object because all the load, all the weight is carrying by this particular frontal part. I hope my mouse is visible. I'm just hovering my mouse onto this particular part.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So even up this as well. Okay, this particular part, this arm.
Yeah, the frame looks like made up with metal.
Yeah. As compared to this one. So maybe this could be a fiber or maybe a
Aluminum,
plastic.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Or maybe the metal as well, not an issue. That is appearing because of this color paint, this highly speculated color
Yes.
paint applied onto this particular object.
Yeah, it says it's plastic or maybe fiber material.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe for this, even if there is not much thought process or maybe the creative process in these categories, but you can divert it. Like you can have some kind of reasoning, or as yesterday's inside this masterclass. So you have to be very reasonable, right? You have to ask yourself what kind of material it is used. Okay, even for these belts. Okay, on the seat. Or even rather you can think of these hinges, these springs. Okay, how it will be work. Okay, so suppose is it first how this particular vehicle uh, will landed on the ground. So first it will base onto this, then because of this spring it will having that particular hydraulic effect, and then like a slope, right? So first it landed on this back particular part, the back part, and then slowly it moves, right? So this part maybe you can increase or extrude it inside this white part. Okay, so it could be a separate part. Then this upper part could be also separate. This particular frame can be also separate. Okay, this is most complicated. So there are few methods which you already know, your faculty is also taught you, so you can take help from them as well. But if you can if you are finding some difficulty, then maybe we can clear like few of this part, few techniques I can show you. Okay, so think the materials point of view also before starting this particular model. Okay.
Yeah, because replication is again very challenging because you cannot divert from the actual one. So you have to very much aware of the material, where the rubber being used, where the cloth or what material is there, so that you can replicate the same thing.
Right. Even I suggest, or rather I am request all of you to check these particular details, because in the student phase we are just neglecting these ins and outs, right? Where that particular belt is coming from.
Mhm.
Okay. Where that particular clip is there. So what that particular part, is it flexible or is it a fixed? Okay. So that you need to have some reasoning. Okay. Even if this particular part. So how, if I suppose one rider is inside this. Okay. And oh, I think, yeah, this is the seat belt, right? It's a
Yeah.
safety belt. Okay. So it will come forward.
Mm.
Mm, yeah. And if you see the side view, there is one handle. Okay. So maybe you can think of how the mechanism will be. Here is something, there is a most important part over here. Maybe also for this particular part, you have some kind of reasonings, like, is there any batteries inside this? Okay. Electric batteries, or very physical batteries, like once you charge, you can put it inside this particular object, and then this drone kind of vehicle will be okay. There are few fans blades which you can see in the drawing. So here you can see the sitting positions as well of the human seat belts. Okay. And the most important part is proportion. So though the challenge is only to model this particular transport vehicle, but you have to consider. So I'm giving one tip for this particular competition. So always check with the human scale. So though it's an interior or exterior or any object you are creating, so always have that particular human scale with you. Okay. Because what will happen, suppose if you are making some stairs, suppose some interior bungalow or an entire house or a building. So if you are modeling some stairs, I'm saying the example. So the step size from the modeling point of view, you make it very nice. Okay. But if you place the human in a real world, okay, real world height, suppose 6 feet or 5 feet 9 inch, then you will face some difficulties because you are not matching the scale. Okay. The step size could be somewhere over here. Okay. Above the knees. Then again you have to tweak that particular stairs, right? The same thing is with this particular things, like handles. So handle could be proportionate with the seats as well. Okay. It's because here the entire torso or the human body will is going to set on that. Okay. So check the proportions. So I hope this point is also clear. Any question in between? Amit, please help me out. Yeah, so here I mentioned, yeah, consider the functionality, integration of advanced technology which is used. Though it's a helmet, what could be the advanced technology inside that? So is there pressable buttons, or is it a normal touchscreen button which could once you touch it, then all those triangles and circles could be highlighted. That means it's turned on, off, whatever. Like, I'm just thinking from my understanding, but individual thinking could be different. Then the most important part is ergonomics. It's aesthetics. Like I already mentioned, these illuminated elements and the details, material selection, everything. Like you already know this, you can think of these particular points.
Okay, there is a question.
Yeah.
That when I use Blender to render, can I use UV mode to render?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
For the production, you have, if you are matching the reference, okay, with your model, okay, so you can use that, okay, but for the final, maybe you have to use the cycle. That is my personal suggestion, but you can, there is some noise reduction tools as well in EV. So if your final purpose is solved, then obviously you can use any render system. Even few of uh, the courses which we promoted, that like we are having V-Ray as well. So suppose some student from other country is equipped with 3ds Max and V-Ray, so obviously whichever tools you can use those. Okay, so in Maya or 3ds Max, there is a Arnold renderer, right? So you can use those Arnold renderer. So suppose if you are in a premature level, okay, so you are not having that Arnold renderer skills with you, so maybe you can use a very classical render as well, not an issue. Obviously there you will not able to get the indirect illuminations like the bounces and everything, but I think you can create the same render using the scanline render or very basic render. So tools don't like for the rendering or for the competition, the tools are not, should not to be a constraint. Yeah.
Okay. For sake of understanding, there is a question. One has put that if I register the visualizations category, I can only model the given plane that the contest has already given. Yes, of course. This is the reference given, and you have to only replicate this as a final output. You cannot, you are not allowed to create any different kind of futuristic transportation thing. So this has been given, and why this has been done, there is a logic behind. Because if you have to find out something and you have to done research based on that, and then you need to create something, it will take time. But we have the submission window from 6 to 15. So obviously this time we have allowed to create this particular machine in the 3D softwares, right? So that's why this assignment has been given, and you have to do only this particular vehicle as an final output. Hope it's clear to all. If anybody has any query related to that, they can surely put around. Yeah. Sandesh, you can continue.
Yeah. So yeah, coming to the practical points, we have a very general modeling process. So as I mentioned, maybe you can have into your basket lots of tools with you. So just decide whatever the skills you have and then begin to modeling. So first and foremost important thing, because we have to match all these this is both images, right? So you already know this, but again, yeah, coming back to Photoshop. So what you can do is you can import these images. Okay, you can have rulers over here. Okay, if you don't have the top image, maybe you can visualize it, how it could be. I can put it the front. I can arrange it to match that. Okay, so Control T, maybe I can increase, decrease according to the any one of the base image. Okay, so take any base image. So suppose I consider this as a base image. So this will be my master. Then add on to this, maybe you can compare it by decreasing the opacity. Okay, so just spend time, because if this step goes wrong, so the entire model will not look like it's matching the reference. Okay, so like a design elements, we have shapes, right? So first, for the evaluation, we can check these outlines as well. Okay, so be very precise. Yeah, and then you can save it as different files. Okay, so same thing for this as well. So this will be my master. I added one gray background. So if you can see, this is gray background. Uh, I have habit to put some gray tone, even if that image is in white. I add one top layer onto this. Because once if you imported this particular image inside the software, so if you are working throughout the longer time, okay, so maybe 8 hours, 10 hours, if you are sitting on the same place, right? So it will does not affect your eyes. So strengthful, it will avoid the strengthfulness. So this is the side view. I add this front view. Obviously I check it by decreasing this opacity. Okay, I check every point. Then this is the back view. If you want, you can separate it out. This is the top view. So top view, I merge it with, okay, my bad. So this could be Control T, and I just rotate 90. Yeah, this should be like this. Okay, so I can match by adding these ruler points, ruler lines. Yeah, so this maybe you can take it, or maybe in the lateral stage, you can directly import inside the Maya or Max or any or Blender. Okay. Yeah, so then I think you already know the techniques. So whichever your stronger point is. So when I was student, I was very fond of this edge extrusion method, right? So for the faces or for the details, the objects which have very detailed ones, detailings inside. So I use that edge extrude method. And suppose a torso kind of objects or the character. So those character parts I was used box modeling technique. So for the face, I used edge extrude. For the torso, hands, I used box modeling technique. Now, this is having something different. So maybe, obviously, this box modeling and edge extrude method also can be used for these references. For helmet or this one. But suppose if you are familiar with spline modeling, so I suggest you can use that. Okay, so in Max, Blender, and Maya, we have this surface curves, surface methods as well. Okay, so yeah. So decide your methods and then you can begin. Okay, so I just demonstrate a few of the things. So suppose if we are, I hope everyone knows how to import the image sequence. If not, just mention it in the chat box. I will show you that as well. I just quickly demonstrate this. This is the final one. So final one also can be used once your model is completed around 50% or 60%. That is also I can use. I can show you. So yeah, this is the front view. I just import it by clicking on this particular small icon, or maybe you can just go inside view, image plane, and import image. This will be the front. Maybe you can name it properly. Okay, so suppose like I said, if you are working in a real world scale, so even if it's max, okay, you can go inside the settings. Okay, unit setup. I hope everyone knows this. So maybe you can work in centimeters, millimeters, meters. Okay, so that also you can use. You can check system unit setup as well. So system units, maybe I can just click on fit. Okay, in metrics we don't find the fit, so maybe you can convert the fits into centimeters. Okay, or maybe you can click both. In both cases you can place centimeters as well. Okay, so suppose my human is in max, I think you have biped, so maybe you can directly add this and you can place height. Just click on modify these things. I just click on this biped, go inside this hierarchy, not hierarchy, this motion. So here the biped system is there. So inside the figure mode, you will get the height option. Yeah, inside the structure. Yeah, see this over here, height, you can type 169 or whatever, whichever the human scale you are going to use. Okay. So here in max, you have this advantage. So directly human, or maybe you can create a simple box. Not necessary you always want this, but in the lateral stage, maybe if you have this human figure, then for the handle volume, maybe you can, this will be utilized. Okay, the proportions. Yeah, so for the beginning, maybe you can go inside these basic tools and you can have this particular box. Okay, you can add here the height as well. Okay, even Maya as well, there is Visors, so you can utilize that, you can import it, the human figure. Okay, so in Maya, I just add a cube, and the default setting inside Maya is centimeter. You can change it. Okay, or maybe if you are working in centimeters, so I just add a height over here. Okay, so 169 centimeter. Yeah, so obviously you have to increase this one. So if it's got pixelated, okay, then what can be done? So once you place that particular human, okay, You can scale down. So maybe 0.1. Sorry, the height. So you will know the scales. Okay, in the later stage, maybe you can increase this particular scale. Okay, so now, yeah, this is pretty clear. So in this way, you can match, you can start. So spend some time. Okay, don't directly jump on to directly start the modeling. Okay, because these steps are very crucial. Okay, just change. Okay, anyways, I just add one human figure over here. So go inside. So my version over here is 23. So not much changed. Only in modeling, maybe few things are here and there. Like they shifted edit mesh tools inside mesh. Okay, or mesh display. So that much changes, but you can find it. So okay. So this scale, human scale. Yeah, Windows content browser. Yeah. So previously, suppose if you are using 21, Maya 21, you will get uh, Visors, but here it changed. That is content browser. So once you open up this directly, it will show you this human. So you can, if you can see this .ma files. So I'm not taking the odd ones, the cartoony ones. I'm just taking this real one. Okay. So middle mouse click and drag. See this. Okay. So because reference is pixelated, so I just scale this down. So you can see these values. Yeah. So 0.001. Oh, sorry, 0.02. Little bit scaled. Yeah, this is perfect. I hope you understood this. This is pretty crucial. Don't ignore this step. Okay. Any questions in between? Please ask.
Yeah, two participants has raised their hand.
Yeah, please ask.
So yeah, I'm going to unmute you, Arham, so that you can ask your query. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Meanwhile, I just import it. You can take your time. So the reference, if you scale it, one reference, if you scale it, when you import it, it does not match. Okay, while even if you are exporting from the Photoshop, it does not match because you scaled it inside this Maya, okay, or Max, whatever, the 3D software, right? So just select this, just check its scale 3.81. Okay, select this. Yeah, here, sorry. So on the right hand side, you will see image plane shape. Those who are using Maya specifically, just check from where you scaled. Okay, so I scaled it as a object, this image plane as an object, and it is having this scale option. Okay, so just copy this, Control C, and just paste it. Okay, so in this way, you can scale. Yeah, in between, and has anyone ready the questions which you want to ask?
I think no questions from Arham.
Okay, yeah.
I think by mistake he has raised his hand.
Okay.
Next is Mishal Rani. Would you like to ask any query? You can unmute yourself and ask. Mishal Rani, if you have any query, you just unmute yourself and ask.
The same thing inside Max as well. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think they have no any query. Okay,
Okay.
next is Muhammad Sehzad. So I have allowed you to unmute yourself and ask your query if you have any.
It is necessary to work on Maya software.
I think
Sir, it is necessary for this to work on Maya software.
no, which software you are familiar with?
But yeah, Shehzad, but need to make it clear. You need to follow the software what is there in our curriculum, right? Means there
Okay,
is 3D Max, Blender, Maya, and multiple softwares, but mostly in our curriculum, the Blender, 3D Max, and Maya is there for 3D modeling. So you have to stick with those softwares.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So which software you are familiar with?
3D Max.
Max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
So
can.
just go for it. So
Okay,
in
okay.
Max,
Thank you, sir.
obviously I'm sharing this Max as well. So here, I think you know how to import and export things, right? The
Okay,
techniques are
sir.
same. Techniques are pretty same. Few tools here and there. Few tools are having advantages Maya. Few tools are very nice in Blender. Okay, to
Okay,
model it.
okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So here you can use planes as well in both the cases, in Maya as well. But Maya is pretty strong. While importing these image planes, you can use it as a geometry, as an element, as well as a background. Okay, so it's not case of 3ds Max, because if you import it, suppose if I press Alt plus B, okay, so here you will get the option use files. Here it will saying apply to all views in active layout. So we have 4 different images, so we are not using this option. So apply to active view only. So this is, if this is a front view, just click on apply to active view, and you have to click on files and import. Oh, wow. Something like this. Okay.
मुझे भी headphone लेना है.
See this, what is happening? So it's stretched. So just be careful while importing. There is an option. If I press Alt B again, I want to change this, because the aspect ratio is most important while importing inside 3ds Max. So just click on match bitmap. So match bitmap is whatever resolution or aspect ratio of your original image, JPG, PNG. So that will be matched. Okay. So depending on your screen size, even your display settings. See, right now it's very difficult for me to handle, because for demo purpose I increased all the fonts of my PC, the display setting, so it goes beyond. Okay, if I decrease it, I increase the resolution. Like if my monitor is having 4K, okay, so I can decrease the font size, and then this image will be fit for the display purpose. I hope you understood what I want to say. Okay, so in Max, maybe few of your monitors may be on a lower side, so maybe HD monitors. So you will see this particular error. Okay, so Alt B again. Match render output as well. So, but again, it will be shrinked. So render output is your default one. So it's try to match this particular thing. But obviously, there is a tip over here. You can decrease this, but decrease it with the connection with the details of this particular image. So what I can do over here, I just click over details. Okay, over here, right click on it. You can click on dimensions. I used the front one, right? So front one, the dimension is 381 point into 332. Okay, so what I can do in the multiples of 381 and 332, I can change this to the width and height. So then you can fit your reference inside this viewport. So what was that? 381 and 322, right? So here I just click on custom, 381 and 322. Yeah, done. But again, it is not showing. Yeah. So in this way, you can adjust it. Clear? So this is one method. And the other simple method is press Alt B again. I am just going back to the default one. Here you can place the plane. Okay, again I am changing this to 381 length and 322 will be the height. Done. Vice versa. So, and you can add material to it. So just drag and drop this material, diffuse, click on this box, and you can place bitmap. Click on this front, open it, and show shaded material inside. So now it will match. So if you are using this plane option, then please check these dimensions. Okay, so according to dimension, you have to create that particular plane. Okay, because if you are wrong in this, then the entire proportion will be wrong. Okay, so please check. Yeah, so one thing is clear. So references importing. Now how you
Now I
start
think
with
there is one question related to this.
Hmm.
How I know the right height of human? So
See, it's a generic. So whatever the generic height is, so generally it changed by country to country, region to region. So suppose if you are in Asian, so maybe 5.9 will be a generic, or 6 feet we can call it for the European countries. So you can take it. You can take it that reference and make it. There's not much difference, but obviously it's a nice question. So whichever country you are residing, just take that reference. It's pretty simple.
and hope you are going to cover the same thing for the sci-fi challenge also.
Yeah, so see this. If I got this, so you can have this head scale, right? So you can take it. You can measure yourself as well, not an issue.
Mhm.
You can make it for yourself.
No, this is another question from another participant.
Hmm.
That are you going to I mean show the how you are put that reference image so that one can draw the things for the sci-fi challenge also.
Okay, actually it's pretty same.
Yeah,
Even if I change this, I just
yeah, Nemo. So if you have any specific query or doubt based on that, so you may ask, right? Because see, the putting reference image over here or calling a reference image over here is going to be pretty similar for both the challenges.
yeah.
Right. So if you have any doubt or query related to that, you can ask. Okay. Meanwhile, we
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah. So
continue with the content.
is the yeah 1.935. So yeah, the same thing. So if you have reference over here, go inside that. See, only thing is you have to select that particular profile, right? So is it a profile view or a front view? So place those images inside that view only. Okay, so just click on import, just put it. That's it. Okay, selecting this 1.935. So your file should look similar like this. Okay, and don't move it here and there. So suppose, see, here I moved it. So this particular image, this front image and this top image, it's not matching. Okay, so maybe I just move it to 0. Yeah, now it's matched because it's a default. Okay, yeah, obviously the side view, yeah, I think it's matched. So side view direction is this, that is the z axis. So inside this z, 0 could be there. But again, this will vary. Suppose I make it, I am not changing inside this Photoshop. Okay, I matched it properly here. Okay, I'm not selecting this and moving over here. Okay, so please be careful while doing this particular activity inside this Photoshop. Okay, see this, my back view, my front view and back view is also matched. Yeah, I think I can reduce the opacity and check it. So I think from the drone point of view, the body is perfectly fine. Only these blades are pretty big in the back view, but obviously you have the top view, you can manage to have this. So even if a few millimeters here and there, maybe we can have two images which are completely matched. Take an example of front view and side view. So using these, you can match these blades. Okay. So yeah, save it properly and then import it. Okay. So here you don't have to
So I think we lost the connection with Sandesh. So let's wait for some time. He'll be joining soon. Yeah, he's joining. Please wait for a while.
yeah, sorry, the power went off. Just a second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. I just turned off my video. Yeah. So I hope this till this you are pretty clear. Now, which method you are going to apply, that is the different case. So suppose if you think this frame is made up of, because it's having very curved line, right? So maybe if it's come to me, I will use the edge extrusion method. So I just click on this plane. I'm not going to show everything because you already know this. But again, if we are finding difficulty, I will uh, I can give you a very just a very on a surface level. I will just show you. Okay, so what approach you have to keep it over here, that I can tell. Okay, so maybe I can match this. Okay, uh, and at very initial stage, just match this surface as well. Okay, so first is the blocking stage. So maybe I'm not adding lot of segments inside this. Okay, so I got this one. Maybe if you see from the side view, maybe this could be the glass. So for comparison, maybe you should have to import the reference, the 3D render as well. I'm just matching this, or maybe you can select this image plane. Oh, we have that proportions, right? So maybe I just type 3.22, that is 322, and height is, sorry, 3.81, and height is 3.22. Okay, so it will match automatically. 3.81. Yeah. Okay. Assign new material. You can add a shader, a texture. Yeah, this one. Press 6. Acha, I rotated it. Okay. Yeah, that is why that height is not matching. So 90 degrees. I have to do it reversed. 3.81, 3.22. I hope you clear with this, because if I type 381 and 322, this plane will be huge. Okay, so for the aspect ratio, I just add this decimal, but the aspect ratio is like I use the same figure. Okay, the figure which the digits which I got it from this dimension. So I bifurcate it in the decimals, 3.81 and 3.32. Oh, sorry, it's 3.32. 3.32. But again, while photoshopping it, I'm not using this extra one. So what I suggest is just use the shader, use the transparency. Okay, move it, and you can scale it manually. Okay, obviously it's in perspective, so it's not a proper profile view. So you have to adjust few things. Okay, because the entire blueprint is different. That is the side. It's an engineering kind of drawing. So, but we need this to not to match, but to see the form. Okay, I hope it's clear. Done. Okay, so paste it over here. Now you can see this particular part which I want to start with. Okay, so what is your method? So you are separating this out, or maybe if you block it the entire thing, and then you can add this particular cut over here. Okay, so what my intention is, I'm just matching this particular reference with this particular part as well. In the lateral stage, I will add that embossing, the engraves inside that. Okay, so using all these tools, maybe I can use multi-cut tool, and you can add. Okay, I hope all of you knew this. Okay, so something like this. Yeah. So once it finalized, maybe you can use X-ray mode as well to see the background image. What I can do, I just quickly extrude it, Control E, Control E, you can move it. So keep a habit of rotating as well, because the form itself is rotating. So what if you are not rotating? If I scale it somewhere, something like this, Control E, if I move it, I'm pressing G to repeat. Even Max also, we have repeat as well by clicking the right click. Yeah. So again, here I have to scale it, or maybe don't scale this. Maybe you can move the vertices as well. So this is called edge extrusion method. Okay. So once if you want to see what is happening, I have to press 4 again and again. So 4 is for wireframe, 5 again for shaded. So instead of that, you can utilize the X-ray mode as well. Okay, so shading, inside the shading, we have X-ray mode over here, or over here, there is an icon of X-ray. Okay, so you can see a little bit of faded polygons over here in X-ray mode. Okay, Control E, extrude. The same thing will be inside the Max or Blender. So now here is the turning point, or maybe you will find it difficult to model, because the flow is also very much needed. Okay, so suppose if you have the human figure, it is having the flow, right? Because of that flow, it looks like a hand or a torso or a head or nose, right? I just turn on this. So this is called flow. Okay, I think on in the curriculum as well, we covered up these things. So you know this, but again, so over here, maybe you can just select this one only, and you can extrude it. So suppose if you are very skillful and if you know each thing, uh, just a second. Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is the very manual method. So suppose if you are familiar with curves as well, so you can go for it. It will give you a very fast-paced modeling. But again, you have to be very precise in this. So if your base model is base geometry is ready. So right now, if you can see over here, see this, what is happening. If I see it from the top view, it's not matching. Okay. So here also you can use X-ray mode as well. So you can clearly see the geometry, the drawing besides this faces. Yeah. Okay, now this upper line could be this particular line. Yeah, I think it's that only. Okay, so what I can do, I just select this edge, double click, and you can just move it. So this is this beginning is most important. So if this something like this, I just rotate it. Okay, so add these much details over here. Maybe you can select this and click on X-ray mode as well. Yeah, now you can see, because I matched it from the profile view, right? But from the front, I haven't matched. So some artists, what they generally do is they model it from the side first and then adjust it front. Okay, my way of doing is I from the beginning, even if it's very small shape, I match it from both the profile views. Okay, and obviously we have to maintain the flow as well. So if you follow it, then you will not take much time for model. Means after the model, you don't have to tweak it multiple times. From the beginning itself, the details will appear. Okay, so once it's done, maybe the last technique which I want to show over is this curve. So when you place curve, we need back view as well. So so right now we have only 4 views, right? So can we add one more view? Yes, obviously we can change it from here, right? This is back view or it's a front view, because here it is showing front view, here it is showing back view, right? So instead of utilizing this interactive cube, what I suggest is, if you are using a back view, go to this top view and convert it into, go to panels, stereo, sorry, orthographic, and just click on new, and there is an option of back view. Okay, and here you will add, you can add the back. I think I haven't have, you have to, yeah, this one I just save it, save as a JPEG. I hope this point is clear, because you need this back view. I'm sorry, this is max. Back. Then again, same thing. What you can do, just select this, and you can create a new layer. You can hide it. So you can utilize this as well, because we generally use in production. So yeah, right. So check this from the back X-ray view. Yeah, over here, translate Z. and you can just click on this and you can match it. So according to the reference, you can match. But while doing this, if you make it something like this, then this extrusion will be follow this particular line. Okay, so be sure to have a proper surface. Maybe you can match this outer line like this. Sorry, select this edge from where you want to extrude. Select this curve and just press extrude. That's it. So once you place extrude, the divisions are limited, and now you will get this. Okay, so I can easily create using this. You can add. I hope this is clear. Any questions?
No, there is no question posted.
Wow. I hope, I think they are familiar with this technique.
Yeah,
So
the tool, I believe
maybe,
everyone is quite familiar.
yeah,
So, yeah, so here they have a chance to just ask their query if they may have.
yeah. You can make your shortcuts and everything. So it's pretty easy, useful for you.
So if anyone who is new to this are going to participate in this contest, so this is going to be very important knowledge for him
Yeah.
or her. Okay, so anyone has any query till now? Sir, can we use external texture? If your reference demands, then you can obviously use. Right, so you know that what is the reference file you have got, and based on that you need to find out that what is going to be modeled and what is need to be applied from external. Based on that you are free to choose.
Yeah, again, and this main important tool is the symmetry. So maybe suppose if you are working with the symmetrical object, so that could be very useful for you. Let's quickly join this. I just attached it, mesh, combine. And you can utilize the bridge option as well. You can have blend and add divisions. Okay, so this green is basically software is not able to grab the shader, so you can add the default one. So this is pretty like if it's the same shape from the model. Okay, and now just reduce this. Okay, now this object is symmetrical, so you can utilize the symmetry option as well. So I'm selecting this object. Maybe you can create the shortcut as well in your shelf. The option is mesh, smooth proxy, subdivision proxy, option box. We'll have two options, optional and linear. So just go for half. This mirror behavior, we already have one. So we want only half. Just check which axis you want to mirror it. So you can see it by this global axis, that is x. So x is plus. So we have plus x. We have to mirror it in minus x. So I just click on minus x and apply. Okay, so this is pretty useful. So here you will see, oh, sorry, I just attributes. Yeah, make sure you always delete the history if you are working in Maya. Otherwise, Blender and 3ds Max doesn't have that. So edit, delete by type history. Yeah, Lambert and transparency. So yeah, you got this. So you have this smooth option as well as low poly option. Okay. So I hope this is pretty clear. So make sure the flow is proper, because without the flow, you can't be able to achieve the surface, the quality of the surface. Okay. Any
Right.
questions in yeah.
Yes, I think he's talking about the SRS. I downloaded a
Hmm.
PDF file and the following information provided in it, descriptions to create the model. Am I
Hmm.
correct? Yes, obviously, when you go to take a challenge, then at the very first, you can download the challenge note, right? And there you will get all of the information which is associated with this particular project. So you have to definitely adhere to that particular guidelines line by line, right? You cannot skip that.
Yeah.
But that makes sure that you are talking about the documentation. Sandesh, you can share that
Yeah. Yeah.
challenge note once so that everyone will be aligned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so just start with the future tech transportation and then go for the 3D asset.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a second. So meanwhile, any questions regarding this modeling, you can ask. Even the texturing as well. Because for the helmet, I think you need UV unwrapping as well.
Yeah, I would request that further you just hands-on, do some hands-on on that helmet part, right?
Yeah. And yeah, 3D design visualization, right? First.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah, so
this is
basically
the
this challenge. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You
Please
continue.
go ahead. Okay, so this is the category. Uh,
Right. So I think this is the query of Muhammad Sajjad, right? So this is the
Yes, yes.
challenge note which has been provided to all the participants. Whenever you go and accept the challenge, before that you can download this, and this is the whole instruction that you need to follow. Right? I mean, there is a challenge description, there is a different guidelines to follow, and there is an evaluation guideline as well. So you have to be very much clear about that these are going to be the evaluation parameter, right? So if your poly count is going to be so high poly design or maybe low poly design than the required, then obviously it's going to affect the uh, um, winning chances. So based on that, do's and don'ts are there. So you have to follow these what you can do, what you cannot do, right? So all these informations are there as a guideline. There is option that how you can submit your final output. So that is again mentioned over there. Sandesh, can you show that
yeah, yeah,
sheet on
yeah,
once?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Here. So you will find one layout sheet in the drive, and there you have to upload your final output. Here it has been pasted as a reference, but you have to finally paste your output screen over here like that. And below you need to mention your name, your country name, design visualization as a category, and center name over here. You need to keep this file name based on the nomenclature what we are providing. So can you go to the next page?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you will find the submission guideline. So obviously you will find the naming nomenclature like CC 2023 design visualization underscore your center name and your name, right? So that is required over here. I think right. So by this nomenclature you can upload your file on the Creative Challengers platform between 6th to 15th of November. Next is 3D asset. So obviously, here you will find all the descriptions based on the category 3D asset. Right. So this is what you have to create. The reference has been given to you. Next is the guidelines, what you have to follow to create this object. What is the evaluation criteria? What are the do's and don'ts for this particular challenge? And the submission criteria is there. So it's mentioned in detail so that any time whenever you want to know about the challenge and what you have to create, you can refer that. To create the final output, you refer the file uploaded on the drive, and the drive link is given below, right? Because here you may see the image, maybe some not properly lit or dark, maybe as I can see over here, because this is the color has been little changed. So I request all of you to download the reference file from the drive and use that for your final. Yeah, so these are the challenge note that you have to download and follow. Right, Sandesh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
So,
I mentioned that only. So you
mhm,
can go through it here.
yes.
Yeah. So okay. When see now that my software has hanged. So this case is happened to you as well. So for the safer side, what you have to do is you have to check on auto saved option. Okay, so your files will save. Otherwise, what will happen? All your efforts will goes in vain. So I hope you know this auto save options in whichever software you are using. So just turn that on. Okay. And obviously you can have the multiple options, the multiple saving options available on all this inside all these softwares. Yeah. So yeah, coming back to modeling part, I think all of you know lots of things. Yeah. So suppose take an example of this particular object. So whichever the object, though it's a helmet or whatever. So suppose I want to unwrap it. So unwrapping is something you have to uh, plan previously. Okay. So where you want to add the texture or you want to create procedural maps and generating that particular texture, right? So suppose if you are having a very noisy texture, okay, so you can utilize the shaders as well, or you can utilize the external JPG textures as well. Okay, or maybe you can create those textures if you are having that particular skill, right? So suppose if I am adding a shader, whichever render engine you are going to use, so that is also pre-planned. Okay, so I'm using Arnold, or I want to use a scanline, right? So just decide it first. So I'm using over here and just AI standard surface. Okay, and this has assigned, right? You can utilize the renderer. Maybe you can have the real-time render as well, like Blender. It's EV, and inside Maya we have this renderer option. Okay, so you will save your time. But again, if your graphic card is not that much powerful, skip this. Okay, then you have to click again and again over here and render it. So so suppose I want to add a layer texture. So obviously you can have suppose on the specular I want to add one layer of a procedural map, so that is also fine. So suppose if you have a specular over here inside this color checker box, I'm going to use suppose this fractal. Okay, and I'm just manipulating this. So this kind of specular highlight I want. So here it is not rendered. Maybe I can increase the UV coordinate. Okay, so this is pretty uniform light. What I can do over here is I just put a simple light, maybe a spotlight. You can create ambience utilizing global light, or you can add a 3 light point setup. According to the reference, you can match. Okay, so yeah, what I can do, Arnold, open Arnold render view. So instead of viewport render, I use Arnold render view as well. Okay, so something has rendered. What I can do is I can increase the intensity. So this is very generic, right? It's supporting by Arnold, but obviously you have to add lots of intensity inside that. So instead of that, I will use area light. Let's stop this. Scale it. Yeah. So we have option of exposure as well. Something is appear. 25. So it's burning out. Yeah. So maybe if see, you can see this highlighted texture over here in the form of fractals. Can you see this? Right. So if you have that particular map, suppose if your helmet is having those particular noise or certain texture pattern, so you can create that in Photoshop and put it. Okay, so instead of creating the texture inside Photoshop, you can do that also. Or if you not familiar with that, my suggestion will be you can use a simple texture. Okay, maybe to enhance that particular image, don't just use only one texture image. You have to think of different maps as well. We can call it as texture maps, right? So on the specular, maybe you can have those particular highlighted texture, like in on the cars, right? A newly car, they are having some speckles on it, white speckles, right? So that is also can be used, but again, you have to check the references. Okay, inside the references, if that have, you can. On the helmet also, there are few lights, as I mentioned. I think over here. Yeah, suppose if you zoom in, you will see this. This is called maybe HUD, right? Heads up display. So is this a digital, or is it having a specific form? Okay, that you have to decide. I'm not going to tell you. Maybe if you can zoom in, so you can differentiate between this particular part and this one, right? So it's like there is a embossed semispheres inside this particular helmet. This can be illuminated, or maybe you can put a little bit of above surface geometry, and you can place that. You can add that illuminated shader as well, or you can play with texture as well. Okay, that you have to decide. But again, if I zoom in here, I can clearly see the embossed. Okay, it's looking like there is a separate object put inside this particular helmet. Okay, for this as well. So here you can utilize Boolean, but again, if you are using Boolean, then please clean up the geometry. Yeah, so in this way, maybe you can utilize displacement map as well. If you are familiar with, so you can utilize displacement as well as little bit of bump map as well. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to unwrap it, so if you want very quick unwrap, what you can do is on the Autodesk website, you can just type Autodesk bonus tools. So this is a plus script, right? It's available. freely. You don't have to purchase it. So here you just type it. You can sign in utilizing your own credentials. Autodesk Maya bonus tools for 20 to 24. Just click on Windows or whichever the version you are using. Okay, on Mac or Windows. Okay, so just click over here and just download it. It's pretty simple process. It's downloaded something like this, mayabonustools.msi. Okay, so just double click on it. It will automatically install in your software. Okay, so once you install, you will get this bonus tools over here. Click over here. You will have, I'm just selecting this object, press Ctrl+1 to isolate this. Bonus tools, UV editing, you can click on auto unwrap UV tool. Okay, right now just check what these UVs are. Yeah, it's pretty distracted. So select this object, go to UV, sorry, go to bonus tools, UV editing, auto unwrap UV tool. Just click on it. It will open up this option. Unfold 3D, legacy unfold, lots of options. So maybe you can try this. Maybe there are some legacy tools. So I just click on legacy unfold, click on that, enter tool and close. So now we are into this particular tool. So what is the first step? So this is the first step, add borders. Second step is remove border. Third is continue. Okay, so if you want to add or remove, so where your sim or the texture border you want. Okay, so you want to open up from here, from the center, just double click. You will select that line. Maybe you can add it. So once you add, you will see a very thick red line appearing on that. Okay, now suppose the material point of view here, you want to break it. So double click on it, add it. Okay, so it will open up from here. The UVs I'm saying, not the model. Okay, here also I just double click on it, add border. So this open surfaces, you don't have to click and add, it already added because it's open. They are the open edge loops. I think it's fine. This has done, this has done. Yeah, now just click on continue. So once you continue, it is starting the process over here, you can see, and it automatically open up. So the main advantage is this. So if you like it, you can keep it, click on done. Okay, so the major thing is it will be easily check it out, all these parts. Okay, so once it can be done, so select this face and you can use your traditional cylindrical mapping. Okay, select this UVs cylindrical map, done. So this checker method is also useful. So that means your scales, you can adjust the texture scales I'm talking about. So UVs, and obviously you can have, you have to check this as well. Right? Because the bottom part is small as compared to this top part. So maybe you can scale it something like this. Done. Matched the scale. So this is one tip which can ease your job. and you can concentrate on detailings. So any questions in this for the UVs? Because I think there is very hardly any object which you required for the UV. So something like the seat cover. It's in the 3D design challenge, right? Hello. Any questions in this? Can I use high poly file to bake normal maps? Yeah, sure, sure. Just check. So you are talking about the 3D helmet, the high poly file. You can Amit, can you unmute Wang Kang Tran?
Wait, let me see. Uh,
Or maybe she can type it if she want.
mm, ask her to just raise hand so that we can unmute. Huang Kang Tran, right? Yeah. Now, Huang, you can unmute yourself and ask your query.
Yeah, so I think I got her questions. So maybe suppose she is familiar or familiar with the ZBrush, maybe she is talking about. So you can utilize that. But again, the references which we are, it's very purely simplified. So it's your call. Because I don't think so there is not much needed very high poly models, but obviously you can bake it, not an issue. So I think baking will be here. I don't think you can use the ZBrush because the surface is pretty smooth. Okay, there are not much engraves, but you can use inside the helmet, like the 3D asset challenge. Yeah, so over here also you can use that, the high poly model, and you can bake it, not an issue. So I suppose it's like both the brands are inside in this competition. So depending upon the softwares you learned, you can utilize full-fledged. Okay, but again, at the same time, those who are not familiar with it, don't uh, 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 don't be little underconfident, because the detailing is the key. So you can achieve using any one of the software. Yeah, I think
Okay.
it covers. The second, I think, question is related to competition.
Yeah, I mean, the sample reference image for graphic design. See, for graphic design, there is no any recommendation. There is no any reference has been given. For graphic design category, participants need to find out or design the output. Only the thing is given that a name of the company, right? That is techscape.org. So only that name you have to use, and based on that you need to design the different creatives which is asked for. So yeah, obviously it's intentional. There is nothing, any reference is available for that. Okay, Sandesh, you can continue.
Yeah, so UV is clear. I think shaders also you can utilize. So suppose if you want to create some illuminated shader, obviously every software, even 3ds Max, Blender, and Blender has having some nice illumination, but those who are using Blender, please make sure your illuminated object, the objects around that particular illuminated object should don't have the noise. Okay, so reduce that noise. Even for the 3ds Max and Maya, if you are using Arnold renderer, please check this, because I can see 25 participants in the meeting, maybe 5 to 10 more. I don't know the exact number of this 3D challenge, but I supposed there will be very limited as compared to the graphic design and matte painting category, or maybe the mobile category. So here lots of chance to win, because the competition is less inside this category. So, but again, the challenge is
No, one
the
thing is,
outcome.
again, one thing is there. Mostly centers attend this webinar or masterclass in group. So that's why we cannot say that. But yeah, definitely the chances of doing good in this particular category, because here there is no any generic crowd. Here all students who are going to participate are thorough experienced with the multiple softwares, and they have a good experience with this creative tools. So obviously that is going to give the edge.
Yeah. So while rendering, you have to, if you know the settings, please increase this particular setting. Okay, but don't give beyond this 7 or 8, right? Camera anti-aliasing, diffuse. So if you have speculars as well, obviously you have, because lots of speculars or lots of transmission in the sense the glass material which you are going to create. So again, it is having it don't have to have that particular noise. Okay, so just please be make sure that this setting is properly set. Okay, noise reducing tools also over there. Okay, so you can use adaptive sampling as well if you want. Okay, and for the final render, make sure there should not be a noise. Okay, so that is from the rendering point of view. If you are not using Arnold, you can just you're going to use only scanline renderer or Maya software. Make sure all this setting could be in production quality. Ray tracing should be always on. Okay, so without this ray trace, you don't be able to get the specular or the glass or transparency effect. Yeah, so lighting, again, it's the challenge. Just check the reference, as Amit already mentioned. We have to follow the lightings as well. So very generic. I think in 3D assets also, and in design visualization, there is a pretty simple lighting setup where you can, or maybe the viewer can easily see the form of that particular uh, object, right? So please follow that. Okay, don't make any don't put any light and increase the intensity very harsh, or maybe very underexposed or overexposed uh, imageries. Okay, yeah. Done. So yeah, any questions related to that? I think everyone is having their own working format. So please follow that if you are a certain style. So if I can make first my shelf, whichever the tools I'm going to use again and again, so that I can use. Then since the beginning, maybe you can put the light setup. Okay, add inside this layer. Okay, So you don't have to spend time in the lateral stage. Okay. Then once it has done, you can only focus on modeling and texturing, right? So that can be also followed. Okay, then undo levels you have to check. So this is very basic. You have to increase the undo levels. You can increase the auto save files as well. Auto save count. So yeah, so that is very common. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe the things which you have covered is a very great thing to start with, right? Everyone has their exposure, they are knowing the tool very well, and they have participated in this. So you have taken them through the modeling, and which modeling is going to be beneficial for them, right? That UV texture mapping and that shaders and the lighting thing. So you have covered pretty thing which is going to be very vital during that particular challenge execution, right? So I believe we have almost done all the things which is in the pipeline for today's masterclass, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Anyone have any question? Because now we are going to finish this masterclass at this note. So if you have any query left, you can definitely ask right now, so that you'll get your queries answered during this masterclass. Further, if you have any query related to the this particular category or topic, so you can share it with your center or faculty, and through them they will share that particular requirement to us, and based on that the query will be answered, right? So I believe we have got a lot of or a variety of queries from all of the participants, and thank you for that. You have kept it very interactive, and I believe a lot of questions or most of the questions which is there in your mind regarding this particular category is being answered. So fine. You have, I mean, for submission, just note, you have the submission window will open from 6th of November, that is Monday, to the 15th of November, right? So in between, you have to complete your project, and you have to submit your final output onto the student engagement portal, right? So if anyone has any doubt that how to do all these things, we have already shared the walkthrough with all the centers. So you can connect with your center that how to do all the processes, and follow that. Very. I mean, step by step you can, if you can achieve the final output. One thing you have to make note that there is another kind of category or a winning chances called the what say viewers choice award, right? So after submitting your final output for the contest where the jury will evaluate your final artwork, you can also participate in the viewers choice award also, right? So post 15 you can push your designs for viewers choice wall, so that everyone can see your work, and based on the work quality one can like. Obviously you can ask your friend and near dear to just like or vote for your work, and based on the maximum votes you will be able to achieve the award or recognition for this. So there is two kind of award. One is the jury based award, where the jury will evaluate your output and decide the winners. Second is the viewers choice award, where you can post your artwork on the platform, and based on that you will get the link, and that link you can promote to your family and friends to just visit and to vote for your work. So based on that, the another award is going to be announced, that is called Viewers Choice Award. So that is going to be a very interesting journey post that, right? And again, I'm sure when you will develop these projects, you are going to thoroughly enjoy the journey or the process, right? So great that you have interested in these particular categories, and all the best to all of you for the upcoming challenge, right? The recording will be shared with all the centers. If you required these particular information for further reference, you can ask your center to share that session recording with you also. So yeah, thank you and all the best.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you, Amit. You can
Yeah, thank you.
repeat the
Thank you,
do's
Sandesh.
and don't part. I couldn't keep up just now. There is one.
Okay, you just address
There
that.
is a, yeah, yeah, yeah. You can repeat the